So, we are back in the world of Satisfactory. We are starting some alternate recipes since we got so many things, but what we are wanting to do first and foremost is look at setting up railway junctions again. So I beforehand wasn't mad to me, not really. So what I want to do instead is I want to go back to the blueprinter and I want to set up a blueprint for a railway that's just one solid contiguous piece and add corner junctions into it. Now, I've kind of done something like that before, because these here snap to each other, but what I want is concrete the whole way. That's what I'm after. Just big, massive concrete struts running along into the ocean, running around, and we're going to try and set up those blueprints to go wherever they need to go. So what it's going to be is train tracks on either side, drive on, or we can walk on. Doesn't really matter. The main thing is going to be, let's set up a good looking railway. I was also playing about a little bit off stream on my laptop because I have a... Whoa! What the heck? I just see here it's dropped massive amounts of frames. Hang on. Let me check. Make sure OneDrive's not syncing or something. Okay, OneDrive was syncing. Well, that's stupid. Very silly. Okay, that's alright. We can work with that. So, blueprinter is here. Now, let's go in. Let's load. And what we want is we're going to have to do... So this is railway station exit, railroad hyperlaunch. Oh yeah, that there is not going to work quite. Okay, so this here, let's get it all set. So, may as well just have it be pretty easy little one. So, we want 3 along here, and you will be our road section. Here, we have our train section, and here, we have our other train section. So into this, we go architecture, and we want let's just go for road barriers. So this, we're going to zip across to here, and we zip this back. Do the same over here. And grab this one here. Run it over to this. Now, we want transport, and let's do railways. So, this is central, and let's do 2 short. So here, we go 1, 2 long. And I'm hoping this will work like that. Now here, central, 1, 2, short. And over here, we're going to here, 1, 2. Now, what I want is, let's go into the customizer. Patterns, we're going to do straight arrow. Oh yeah, you have to rotate with just this. So these will be our little mile marker things. This tells us which way each is to go. And then if we go into this here, let's just do center dotted lines. That way we know, hey, it goes all along this way. And we're going to call this Rail Highway. We are also going to add it into transport. And we're going to edit category and add a subcategory of, let's rename the subcategory highways. So, did that not? No, it didn't. Highway, because I need to actually hit the button for it. Highway and apply changes. And there we go. So we want to set this to go into highway, I guess. And let's see. This will go for Explorer. Yep. Save that. And that'll be fine. Now, what we want to do is we also want to add a junction. So we're going to set the junctions up. Junctions won't have the same sort of markings to them, because we don't really care as much about marking them. So there we go. That's that bit. We also are going to remove this, and we're going to remove this. Now, into here, customizer, let's remove all these patterns. So, on the corner is where we're going to add these things. So, what we want is no left. Let's add this in the center. And there. And there. And there. So this should allow us to go and figure out our sort of thing. Just going to grab Pepperami here. No. I think, yeah, we call this Rail Highway Junction. And we'll save this as a separate one. Went for the spicy pepperami, so it is spicy. Now, this is a T-junction that we're going to make next. So, over here, may as well set our next hard drive to upload, not upload, to scan. Over to here, fine. That gives us access to radio connection unit. Or adhered iron plate. Compacted steel ingot or steel framework. Not keen on either, to be honest. So this is producing all the ones that could go into these here. Let's dismantle this and go from you into here. So this will do its thing. Let's make sure we load loads of those into there. That clears out a bit of inventory space. Then we want to go and do similar sorts of things. Right, what are you going to be? Compacted coal, you say? I think we need more. I think we need more. So over here, 344. Let's grab 344. 1, 2, 3. And we want 326. There we go. 344. And we'll use this here, up here. Upload all of that. So, that's going to give us a whole pile of compacted coal, which we could then use for Nobelisks, maybe? Wait. And zip this all the way up. Then we go to here. Zip that across. And we'll do railway. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, you are then going to go over to here. Stay central. 1, 2. Lovely. That's going to do its thing. And we can call this Rail Highway T-Junction. So maybe let's do that. I think I am going to use it to make turbo fuel. Let's save that and do its thing. Right, over here. Yeah, we still got loads of that producing. Yeah, this here, I mean, it's going to make us 344. That's going to make us about 680 compacted coal, which is going to be alright for us. We kind of have done a good bit with turbo fuel. Our sulfur stuff is doing pretty well. We could also go back to the death crate and pick that up. But, right, let's eliminate this. And what we want now is we want foundations, because we are going to start constructing the frame. Whoop, hang on. Let's go up 4 like that. Now, we want foundations for some of this other stuff, because this is what's going to go underneath our things. So we need an inverted ramp, and for that we're going to go for inverted ramp 4 meter. Oh, nope, wrong one. You go there. Let's place you here. You go here. And then you go here. Now we go back down to that. And we want the inverted corner ramp. Inverted up corner. So we place that this, this, and this. There we go. And now we just call this rail highway pillar. Because I want it to be nice. Oop. We set the icon to pillar. Go for that. Set you into transport highway. Put you there. Now, what we are going to do as well. Ooh, one thing I should check for. I do know there are some areas with geothermal stuff. Geothermal? Like Fermi? No, I'm not keen on that. I could get that unlocked. I do have what we would kind of need to unlock that. That there, I don't yet. Over here, we need smokeless powder. And 200 of those. What all are we going to need for nuclear nobelisks? Okay, that's encased uranium cell, mildly radioactive. AI limiter, need 100 of those. But yeah, I think this is going to be a case of, let's get some of those ready, shall we? So, what I need is a lot of concrete. And Caterium wire we are maxed out on. So let's upload the bits we can, sort everything there. Alright, fine. Quartz we've got 1,000 of, and we don't have use for it. Okay, coal and sulfur. Both of those I'm just going to load into the thing. That requires those and one supercomputer. So, let's look at nobelisks. Let's put 200 of those and get 200 steel pipes. And that is going to allow us to make happy days. 200 nobelisks right there. So, this is going to do its thing. Let's just load that in, and then actually, because we're sorted from our inventory, let's just awesome sync this here. So I want you gone, you and you. We could also get rid of that too, and these 34, just because. We got 6 printable coupons. Moose here is still making a lot of concrete. So let's take this concrete and see. We've got a few inventory spaces left. And let's go into here. We'll take 2 batches of these and 2 batches of these. These are then going to be uploaded. Ooh, that's steel pipe and beam. Alright, we should have some kind of amount. So let's go over this way. And we're going to start looking seriously at our networks. So over here, let's bounce and jump down. This is not going to be our coal station, I don't think. This station, or maybe it should be our coal station. We could use it for coal and for limestone over here, definitely. We want a limestone port that will come up over here. Because we've got pure and pure. Why would we not? So let's bounce and jump down here. Whoop. Oomph on that. Really interesting. Let's check for Nobelisks. Yep, we do have more. Boom. Did that... Okay, that one did work. There's another one down. Another, and let's grab this. And this here. Treated leaders far too often. That's what they're mostly there for. Let's be honest. Even the big trees, I'm just like, oh, you're just Nobelisk fodder. Like, trees are either biofuel, which is just delightful that that's where my brain goes, or they are Nobelisk fodder. So this here area, we definitely gotta go for... Right, let's also get rid of these, because we are gonna need to extend out a little bit into the water. Well, we missed what I wanted to hit, but we still got something. So, let's see here. Foundations. Packaged liquid biofuel in the backpack. For me, I'm like, why would I do that? Right, blueprints. What we need now is we need a concrete pier. And we're going to sink this concrete pier down to about here. We want 2 of them, in fact. So there's 1 and 2. What would a third look like? Does it clip into the ground? It kind of does. So maybe what we do instead is we put the third one out here. And then we just add this here in here. And let's do this. So, to connect to that, what we want is transport. We want a rail highway T-junction. Where did the other one go? Oh boy. Right, so here's a rail highway T-junction. Right, why will you not go on to snap there? Like, yeah, I'm on now. Am I really gonna have to... Well, I guess I gotta go fix up some of the bits anyway. But this here is gonna be something, so let's go for resource well pressurizer. And place that down here. Now, transport-wise, what we want is a train station. So, over to here, let's make sure we go into the center. So, that's 1, 2, 3 in. And then we go 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do this. And see what we can do with an additional 2 fluid freight platforms. Can't work with. Damn. Well, alright then. That's unfortunate. We need more encased beams. But we can still figure out some kind of plan of attack for it. And let's keep on going over this way. Let me just quickly check, because I do notice just dropped some more frames. I am wondering what is up with my network these days. Might have to consider conduits. So over here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's take the 5 coal. Okay, that's the max we could possibly keep. Unless we get rid of these, this, these, and this. So you swap over with that. You go into here. And you be ready. So, do we have... That's 4 inventory spaces. Then, what next? Do we upload those? I guess we do. So, there is 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Lovely. So that's 10 fuel there. I also realized something the other day. Those are geysers. Or geysers, depending on whether you believe they are pressurized water, which is being boiled up underground, or if you believe they are English blokes. And that's essentially free power. Those kinds of things. So I'm inclined, as we build out our railway networks, to start tapping into those. And to do that, let's go over this way. Detonate this, just to clear some space, and go over this way. And then we've also got all this bacon agric. But we just used up the space in our inventory we could have had it going into. So let's go around here. This coal area, I think, will eventually go out into another station, which will be fine. So here is Edsburg. It's fine, I suppose. We gotta be sure that we are grabbing enough coal down the line. So let's go into here. Gotta just get rid of some of these notifications that are up here. And over into here. Right. Next hard drive scan. What did you give us? Diluted packaged fuel or radio control system. Ooh. 3 of them. Using oscillator chips, casing, and rubber. That's really good. So, into here. Let's load 1,000 coal. And then, we're going to go over to here. Whoop. That wasn't coal, that was sulfur for a start. And I also just realized, recipe's wrong. So you in here, you are going to be black powder. Now, do we have 10? Yeah, we do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This will be enough, I hope. So, into there. Lovely stuff. How many nobelisks? We're going to need to take those. How many are we going to need for cluster? We've got what we need for cluster. Happy days. And then we just upload 1, 2, 3, 4. And be ready for 5. Compacted coal is going to be a thing for us, definitely. We also need to be careful over here. 1 becomes 4. So, we need a lot more space than we've currently got. These are uploading. Let's get rid of that. And then we want more of this uploading. So let's go into here. And we're going to see... Okay, we're missing some fluctuators. So let's make some. If we make 10 of these, for example, we're in a good spot. Lovely. Now, organization, dimensional depot here. And you, we want linking into this here. So let's do this and this. This is going to upload all the wire it could possibly do, which is fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's set all of this here into order. Wonder what kind of rebar we can also make. Stun rebar is okay. That ain't bad. Shatter rebar is quartz crystals. We can make a crap ton of that. We don't have explosive rebar yet, do we? So let's check. No. Sulfur. Okay, we must have explosive rebar, but it must require... Yeah. It, I'm guessing, requires the manufacturer to make. Which is, you know, fine, I suppose. So, over to here. We've got this that we can grab. So I'm going to take this 400 and we're going to take it over and make smokeless powder. We're also going to clear that space out. And let's go on back. Oh yeah, this here. Foundations. So, let's get you and you like this. This will at least make it a little bit easier to snap to a grid and everything, because we're doing 5x5, which is fine. So, you, railway, pillar, lovely. Now, we want to load transport, rail highway junction, and we are going to replace this with, oh, hang on. Let's load. It didn't save anywhere else, did it? It doesn't appear to. Nope. So, we're going to load the T-junction instead, because it's way closer to what we need. Road barrier. We're going to place over here, and we're going to zip this shit. So you go like that. You go like this. Now, this here, we're going to remove patterns. And we're going to add patterns. So, center dotted lines. Like this. Customizer. Let's do... I guess straight arrow. And we'll set it like this. So this way, we're sorted, and we're going to call this rail highway straight away. So, there we go. Now, if we go into blueprints, transport, is it in there? Yes, it is. Happy days. So, now we go. And we're heading over this way. Let's do a bounce and slide along. And see, actually, just realized something. We could set up high-speed connectors, silicon high-speed connectors. We're going to need a lot of those anyway, so why not do it? Start working with them and get them ready. So you here, you got a lot of screws. High-speed connector. You need cable, circuit board, and rubber. Cable, circuit board, rubber. So I guess we load in the Caterium. Then we're going to grab some cable and some circuit boards. And that'll be us nicely. So cable is going to be up here. You're not going to be where we get our copper from. Right, that's wire. 1, 2, 3. 3 batches of this. And let's bounce down here. That's loading in nicely. Load this, and then circuit board. We've got 150 of these. Okay, so if we load that in like that, this should hopefully allow us to go. Well, you know what? We don't need that many anyway, so let's load that completely full of screws, and we're going after the Caterium over here. So grab all of this. Let's also grab all of this and load it all in. You take all of this. So, set that up for that, and we're good. Now over this way, we go after more Caterium Quickwire. So you load as much as we can. And then cable is definitely going to be a thing to look out for. We're going to require crap tons. How much do we get anyway? We get 2? Okay. That's fine. We can work with 2. Let's grab as many cables as we want. I'm thinking if we grab 2,000 cables. Actually, no. We've got 2. So we've got... No. High-speed connectors are... How many do we have? High-speed connector, we've got 43 now. We're going to use the 150 chips to make 300. This here, we got a lot of black powder. And over to here, grab this. Lovely. So, turbo blend fuel. Ooh. How much is... That's not bad. What I would like is heavy turbo fuel as a recipe, because it is going to be insanely good. So let's see if we do have heavy turbo fuel anywhere. We don't. That's a shame. Let's go into sulfur. And yeah, we're going to require more of that. So let's head over to that base. Bounce, slide, jump, and do all of our necessary things. Because we really, really want whatever is, like, however many of things. Compacted coal. We're going to use some of it for heavy turbo fuel, because that would be nice. Let's stand here and see. Oh, damn it. Not going to get run over by our own vehicle in that instance then, because it's an achievement to do that, which I just love as a thing. It's like, hey, congratulations, you got absolutely murked. Drone ports we did think of as an idea, but I think drone ports we're going to use to specifically try and automate collection and harvesting of nuclear, so that we don't have to constantly go. So right, over to here, and we bounce up. We also could make turbo rifle ammo. So grab this, and the blue power slug. Now we're heading over this way. And we should have enough compacted coal, at least, to make all of that stuff. We also need our turbo smokeless powder. That's going to be a thing as well for us. And the more heavy... Ooh, power storage warning. Uh-oh. Was something over here not producing fuel? Let's bounce and slide and jump and do all the necessary things. Because I have a feeling this is the area that's being problematic. It's the only area I can think of that has the power storage. Nope, you're charging. You're still producing fuel. So right, you heavy fuel. Ah. Okay, no worries. Let's go for our compacted coal. So we'll load this in, which is going to make the turbo fuel. We can also summer sloop this just to double up output. Is it working? Yep. There we go. 4x power. So this is going to make us a lot of turbo fuel. You're using 20 per minute. You're outputting that much. You've got 56 here, 58. We can take that. Okay. We didn't mean to do that. Right, let's try uploading these here things. And then this as well. Over here. So, sulfur. We need also the aluminum canisters. Where are they? Where is a constructor we can use? Alright, hang on. You are here doing this. Let's go here and go for empty fluid tank. And you are going to be aluminum ox. Really? I only have one of those. That's unfortunate. Alright then. I guess you're going back to empty canisters. Load that in. It'll be fine. I guess our focus should be on this. And over here, let's do a conveyor lift going down like this. So you will be constantly outputting more and more of those. This is going to be maxed out. So I think, yeah, healthy little thing. Coal, please. Compacted coal, specifically. So this here, yeah. I'm fine with that. Whole pile of turbo fuel. Why would I not be? And then you... Let's look at power shard. We are out of power shards. We're going to have to possibly use this here. Are you summer slipped? You are summer slipped. Let's briefly stop you for a second, and we're going to put you on power shard duty. So, let's go for slugs. load this in. And this is going to make our pyre shards. There's 1, 2, and now we bump that up further. So there's 15 per minute. Lovely. Good. And now we can do this. 30 per minute. Bump this up. 50 per minute and 50 per minute. And you're producing 75 per minute. Excellent. So this here, we just keep on expanding. Packaged turbo fuel, like this is good. Empty canister stuff, we can just keep loading those ourselves. We can also start uploading that ourselves. Grab all of these here. Okay, got about a minute before you're done. You, on the other hand, are perfectly fine. Good. So we've got 26. Now we've got... Ooh. Nope, didn't mean to do that. Let's keep on getting more. Upload and upload and upload. There's more pyre shards. Alrighty, now let's swap you over to this pyre shard. Gonna take a minute to do those. Ooh. Okay, 2 makes 2. So you're using 50 per minute. So maybe we take these here excess and let's load them in like that. Grab these. And hope to God Almighty, we should have, by the time we finish up, should have enough to be constantly doing our thing. So there's moving like that. There's one more set. We could also potentially be ready for a little bit more. So come on, yellow pyre slug. There we go. Now, purple pyre slug. Ooh, you're going to take about 3 minutes. Yeah, about 3 minutes to have done all that. That's not going to be enough time. So maybe pyre slugs. We've got 106 of them. So once this here slows down, we've got 1 more minute for that. Let's go over to this a little bit, and we're going to look at sulfur. So rocket fuel, ionized fuel. I think we should get SAM fluctuators automated out. Have a whole pile of them being made, because we are going to need to make more dimensional depots. So we've got a need for 50 of these. 50 whole ones of those. Right, you are fine there. This is using fuel to make turbo fuel. You're fine using 40 per minute. So maybe smokeless powder. Right, but that is maxed out. Another batch of these. We cannot make any more of those. So I think this here. Oh, that's fantastic. Oh, that is fantastic that I added that before. Right, smokeless powder. This gives us a backup. That is what we wanted. That little backup. Because now we have this making smokeless powder. And we can just keep on getting a whole pile of it. But it means that this is going to keep on loading up. So here is another few. That's about 30 seconds of processing. That, on the other hand, will be ready. I think if we go to here, smokeless powder. Right, that should be us ready. So, hard drive library. Nope, wrong thing. Sulfur. There we go. We need nobelisks. So, sulfur. Just shy of it. Let's go to sulfur and start research. Get this up and running. So that's...
Cluster Nobelisk unlocked. This type
Yep.
of Nobelisk detonates into multiple smaller explosions.
And
Can be used for
into
clearing
here.
large areas of vegetation and other inconveniences. Addendum. Inconveniences, in this case, is not defined to include persistent family members, raccoons, student debt, the sunrise, peer performance reviews, neighbors learning to play the saxophone, phone calls, or your favorite show getting cancelled.
It's not? Well, that's a shame. I was hoping that would be like all of those things just ready to go, but nope. It's still very much demands we have all those things. So, you here, configure refinery, grab this. You're down below 2000. Heavy oil residue and black powder. So 2 becomes 4, so 200 is going to give us 400. So we could max out our stacks of this potentially. Smokeless powder, all of this. Right, let's look at sulfur. Turbo rifle ammo is down here. We've got that. Let's look at Caterium. We need a lot of quick wire. Then we're going to need rifle ammo and silicon connectors. We could get that right now. So let's do that. Speed. Let's take these and go to quick wire. So, Caterium. Wait, nope. Okay, well, priority power switch is a thing. Lovely. That there, we've got those. We need steel pipes.
Priority power switch unlocked. This assists with
Here
power grid
is
management
motors.
by automatically
Okay.
powering down
I
specified
know we have
connections when a grid
motors.
failure is imminent. Use
So
it
get
to
that.
prioritize power for the most important infrastructure.
Ammo. Grab this. And Caterium. Let's look here. That's bullet guidance system. Over here, let's do this.
Homing rifle ammo unlocked. This ammo can be loaded into a normal rifle
Got
and,
that.
when fired, will seek a target.
And this here is going to be our last one. So Caterium
This does not
could
make
be...
the rifle a homing rifle. If you leave the rifle alone, even when loaded with this ammo, it will not return home like a devoted and adorable puppy and/or kitten.
I love that.
Geothermal generator unlocked.
Right.
Geysers added
Hard
to the
drive,
object scanner.
10
When
fluid
life gives you
tanks,
lemons,
and
make
turbo fuel.
lemonade.
Definitely
When life
needed.
gives you deadly geothermal vents, run directly towards them and build generators. Use potentially lethal natural phenomena for your own benefit. It's the fix-it way.
Alright then. I can do that. So right, hang on. Let's see. This here is going to use compacted coal. So it uses 4 to make 10. So that 1,000 is going to become 2,500. That's a lot. Because that gives us 25 full stacks. And this is going to give us the ability to jetpack around with impunity. So this here, fine. You'll do that. A lot of plastic there, so we're fine. I just realized, silly biscuit that I am, I forgot to empty this. There we go. Right. Give that one more minute. And that'll do its thing. You, on the other hand, you're down to 1,400. So, not the best return on investment that we could be having. But, still a return on investment. If I tilt this like that. Whoop. Yep, there we go. If I move this... Okay, yeah, definitely not. Oh, damn it. Okay, fine. Gonna have to deal with me. Zoomed in. Take this, 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 and this. Then we'll load this in. So you're going to use 50 to produce, well, 25 becomes, so that's 50 per minute. So in 4 minutes it's going to take you to make that. But in 30 seconds it will produce the maximum amount. So over to here, let's grab those and upload them. I guess we're uploading a whole pile of smokeless powder because importante. Now, this here heavy alternate, or like heavy turbo fuel alternate, is incredible, and I want it because that cuts out the need for certain things. And will mean that with just one facility, if I was importing sulfur and coal, I could then be creating a whole pile of turbo fuel all at once. This uses 2 summer slips to generate that, and turbo fuel, I believe, gets consumed in half the amount of time. Or like, no, double the amount. It burns half as fast is what I mean. So, over to here, let's look alien technology. Caterium. Do I want to actually upload that? I suppose I could, just to get it out of the way. Alien pyroslugs. Right, that there is what? Diamonds? Time crystal? Okay, weird. This and this are going to be our 2 big importance. So over here, grab these. You are starting to fill up, meaning we have completely filled our inventory of that. So over here, we've got those. You've got that amount of compacted coal. And you've still got 300 to produce. So that 300 is going to become times 2.5, 750-ish. That's going to be a lot. And I like that. So this here was Nobelisk. Let's look at homing rifle ammo. Could be fun. Cluster Nobelisk. Ooh. Yes, that's going to be good. We need a lot of that. We need a lot of that. Here's our packaged fuel stuff. Oh, damn. Hang on. Let's take this. In 1 minute, it's going to be completely loaded up. And then we're going to be fine. So, over here, smokeless powder. want this to finish up relatively quickly. You know what? Let's start the next hard drive research. We've kind of got what we needed, so get this all uploading. A bunch more of those. Got these high-powered ones for the high-speed connections. Big high-speed connector. So yeah, we've got 100 of those in total to do. Perfect. Now we can switch this back to heavy oil residue. No, we can't. We want residual fuel. So, you're going to start outputting more again. This here, 50 per minute. You're using 45 per minute. So, it means we get a 5 meter cubed per minute uplift. There's a bunch out, but should have a bunch in now as well. So happy days. You go up like that. Let's grab one of these here, and we're swapping to our jetpack. And now parachute, let's upload that. Get this back into our inventory. Upload the Nobelisks. And let's get to rocking. So, if you feather it, it doesn't burn nearly as quickly. But you can still gain pretty decent height. If you're stood still and start feathering, then you can actually get pretty decent height on things. That is also just our normal fuel. That's not even our fancy fuel. Just, I guess, gonna burn the normal fuel. Because why not? Don't like the other stuff. So, down to here. Whoop. And in we go. Lovely. So, trying to think what we need more of. We need more encased beams. I think is going to be a big important thing. Encased industrial beams. So let's be ready to get some of that sorted. Over this here way. Completely overloaded on that. There is no way we can actually store more. Wow. I guess we take this. Be ready for it. Take all of this. Upload as much as we possibly can. So this here. Let's get this ready to upload. We've got no space left. So, get that out of the way. And we're gonna take all of this. Maybe we should have a batch ready to go. So, up to here. We'll have this to upload, because at least then we've got more glass we can make at any time. But we're also going to need industrial beams. So maybe this here has to be stopped. Let's swap you over to, where is it? Encased industrial beam. We're going to need a lot more. Or we swap you to compacted coal. Let's do that, in fact. So this here, you're going to use more. Lovely. There's the coal. Here's more sulfur. should have about 100 and, yeah, about the same. About a 1-to-1. Over here, we've got all of this. Alkali sheets. We need aluminum ingots. So we do. So that we can make empty fuel tanks. Empty fluid tanks. That's the word. Not fuel. Fluid. So. Down this here way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And let's upload it. So there's 3 of those. Set it to upload. And over here, you've got all of the casing things ready to go. So we've got more than we need for that. Casing, we could upload another 202. So, as soon as this is out of the way, let's do that. And then I just want to maximize our storage for that. You over here are alumina solution. You've got coal that you're outputting. This is finally doing its thing. And we also have a crap ton of scrap. Like that. Aluminum scrap and everything. Gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. So instead, I guess we're going over to a steel production area. And we'll try and get it sorted. So up this here way. Whoop. I love this. Yay. Boing. So that would be for breaking stuff down. You are capable of making a few more of these. So there's more. And you will load in even more. So that's more high-speed connectors, please. So, upload that, or no, not upload, but move that to there, you to there, you go there, you go there, and then you go here. This is the amount of compacted coal that we've got. And we're going to have a little bit left over. Love that. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We've got 3,000 there. We are then going to set this to be filled up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's see. Is that enough? 1, 2. Right. 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. Yeah. We're going to be able to make a lot of beams. So, encased industrial beam. Set that up. And into here, we want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's gonna make, let's see, 3 to 2. So that'll make 1,500 steel into 1,000 encased industrial beams. And we want that to be uploading. Ideally. But over to here, let's see. Oop, hang on. Where is... Right, you here. Let's quickly stop you for just uno momentito. And we're going to want to make our fluid tanks. So, over this here way. Keep on bouncing. Feather the trigger. Into here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know why I grabbed 5 lots of it. I am certainly not going to be making 5 lots of the thing. But at least MAM research is complete. So, over this here way, can we manually construct the... Ooh, heat sinks can be manually constructed. Let's quickly set you up here. You make 100 of them and put them into there. But, there we go, that's 21. This will be enough. So into here, hard drive library. Perfect. What did you give us? Turbo blend fuel. Oh wait, that's the wrong thing. A heat exchanger. That's also going to be nice. 3 of those and 3 of those to make that. So, okie dokes. Down to sulfur. And let's research this. Rocket fuel.
Rocket fuel unlocked. Pioneers will be able to use rocket fuel in the fuel generator
So into here,
in any vehicle that uses
leading
fuel,
edge production
including the jetpack,
or
with
nuclear
appropriate
power.
Results. Warning: mixing
Nuclear
rocket
power is
fuel into
tempting.
coffee does not enhance its energizing effect.
So let's see. We need heavy modular frames for it, 200 of them, and we need 50 supercomputers. This, I think, allows us to make supercomputers. Nope, never mind. They must be a manufacturing thing. So here, let's look at supercomputer. 4, 2, 3, and 28. That's expensive. Computer, SAM fluctuator. We could also use that, I guess. Make a whole pile. Or we could look at CU, make 3 using that. So this is actually pretty cost effective in terms of things. Modular frame, steel pipes, so 36 of that. Let's see, if we had... Maybe we set that up. Because that would make 6, 14 per minute. So 8 modular frames. Or, let's look at, what can we use screws for? Screws are used in what exactly? Iodine infused filter. Nope. Gas filter. I was convinced there were screws in something. Oh, this. Okay, so we need that. We need modular frames. Oh, damn it. Maybe the screws... I think it's time we take screws out of our equation. I think we gotta start getting rid of the screws. We'll just start allocating them to this here. Because we're not using them in many recipes right now. Matter of fact, they pretty much aren't in a lot of the better recipes. The more cost-effective stuff is definitely not involving screws. So you here, let's take this, and then we'll get more of these. There we go. Right. Heavy encased frame. Or what do we look at for other stuff? So for supercomputer, we need computers. And we need AI limiters. We need silicon, or like high-speed connectors, and we need plastic. Explosive rebar, or turbo rifle ammo. Turbo rifle ammo could be an easy one to do. And it wouldn't be a bad idea to have. So take that. Casings. Let's get a stack of those and then packaged fuel. So, take a bunch of that, load it in. And then, over to here. Load that in. Well, we may as well let it do its thing. So we've got 10 coupons there. We're going to need, in order to get the max thing, we're going to need, like, the golden nut statue, I think it is. We're going to need 1,000 tokens. Those are going to be extremely expensive. So, grab a stack of these. And head on up. Keep on bouncing up the ways. Let's get ready for it. Now, this here. So 20, we're gonna be left with stuff. But plus side, up here, we're gonna have a whole pile of turbo rifle ammo. Let's maximize that speed. And you maximize as well. So this is producing 1,250 per minute. Wow. That's going to be great for us. So you here, switch to the rifle. And we want... Let's look for geysers and just see where there are on the map. So we got 2 there. Is that only... That looks like more. Okay, we got ones up there. We got ones up there. So if we were using those, that wouldn't be so bad, actually. We'd have a lot of stuff coming out of that. Let's grab these here. So 25 times 4. Right, 500 divided by 25 is 20 times 4. So that's 800. I think. Let's see. Okay, it's going to be more than that. It's going to be like, what? Oh, crap. 1,500 maybe? 500 divided by 25 is 20. Times by 100. That's 2,000. Why did I say... Apparently, I'm not good with numbers. So, here's a whole pile of ammo we can do something with. You over here. Explosive rebar. Load that in. 100 of that. And then we need 200 steel pipes. And that's going to be helpful for us as well. So you here. Load in more. And then we'll swap you back. So, there we go. This is going to give us 200 explosive rebar. Nice healthy sum. So over here, we now have 300-ish of these. Let's go into this a little bit and upload all of those. Up we go the way. Let's take that out of the equation and start moving them. You have another pile of them to go. So, let's look at power. Geothermal generator. Let's say we needed 10 of these. That's going to be a lot more modular frames needed. So let's get ready to start producing those. Steel frame, we need reinforced iron plates, and we need steel pipes. That will make us or this here is the bolted frame one. We could use up screws for that. And the reinforced iron plates. Bolted plates, you need a whole pile. That would be every 9.6 seconds it would use that. So we'd need tier 5. So you over here, you're stocking up on these. Let's make the rebar. And this will be fine. It'll be fine. Let's go over to here. And right, I want this, 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 and this. How many do we have? Right. Is that us? Yep, I think that's us maxed out. We've got 1,000 steel pipes. Now, we go over to here. And we drop them in. So, 1,000 steel pipes. You, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That is 1,000 rebar. And then we look at the smokeless powder. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we're a little bit short-staffed on that. But it'll be fine. It's going to give us a lot of these. And we can then use that instead of nobelisks. So, we can't do anything with that. We're fine here. You're making a whole pile. And you are still in the process. So, get these ready. And upload that. Another pile of them. Now, time for us to go over to our sulfur station. No, sorry, our nitrogen station. So maybe for the nitrogen station... No, we'll use a nitrogen train. That's what we'll do. So we'll have a blender area for nitrogen. It'll be fine. So, that over there, we can switch to turbo rifle ammo. And now, I get to be a psychopath. Lovely. Come on. There we go. So, 2/3 of a mag, pretty much, to take out that big guy. And 3 of these guys. Ah, here's the other one. So, I'm happy with that result. Let's also get you offloaded. Now, down to here. Transport. We want fluid freight platforms connected to there and there. And that'll be us. Full speed turbo rifle is basically a melee weapon. Oh yeah. Like it gets inaccurate. Like massively so. But that's okay. I'm not looking for accuracy. It's fine. So, let's go to blueprints, and we want this here straight away. We're going to put this onto here. So, railway straight away. And let's go for blueprint auto connect. Railway pillar. So, you will go across like this and then down. Who needs accuracy when you have 50 round mags? It's 75 now. I don't know if it's always been like that, but yeah. It's now. So, we can put a T-junction there. We can put a railway straightaway into here. Let's waste our last one, I guess. And so, we could actually now pretty much get rid of our Nobilis detonator. Because we don't really need it right now. And what we are going to do... Whoop, wrong thing. Let's look for the geysers. Explosive rebar. Boom. Hi. Bye. Hi. Bye. This is why you don't give me access to anything with high explosive potential. You don't want that on your conscience. Because I will have fun with it. And that fun will include several questionable actions. So, keep on doing this. That's the high bits done at least. You over there, don't like you. Get rid of you. You over there. Bye-bye. You. When in doubt, rocket launcher. I love this thing. Over there. Boom. Same thing over there. Have a bit of fun with it. I don't like how high up you are either. So, now we go for this. Whoop. And go for this. So, what we want as well is a T-junction. So, let's set this to a T-junction here. Like this, I guess. Let's do highway straightaway. Oh, no. Okay, I think we're gonna have to... yeah, I guess it's gonna have to be... Right, this here. Let's swap you to Blueprint Auto Connect. We're swapping you to a plain old junction. And then go like that. So, now then we go into here. And we're doing straightaway. Go like this. You go like this. Oh, really? Don't tell me you're going to collide with the cliff. I would like you to not, if possible. Okay, damn you. You go in like this. And then we want you to be a highway junction. Because over here is going to be our station. I think maybe actually this area here is where we're going to have to build our station stuff. But over this way, we can also at least go, hey, you know what would be nifty to add in here? Geothermal generator. Ooh. Interesting. So, you, power line. And we'll connect you into... Oh, no empty power line connections. You, I think, are going to have to connect into something up here. So, do you have empty power line connections enough? Not really. Oh, we don't have what we need for quick-wire, or, like, conveyor power pole Mark II. So you into this. And then we'll go geothermal generator into here. So you, let's dismantle that. Dismantle this because I want it to be in line. And you will connect this and this. So you are, is that what I was talking about draining? It must be. Very interesting. Right, so we're going to have to build our sulfur station in here. Well, you know what they say. Blow everything up. It's wise advice. Very sage. So let's see. This here is going to have to be closed off, I guess. We got all of that over there. We don't like you just floating like that. Let's try and just shoot you out of the sky. So, this area here, I think we're going to have to set up a little bit interestingly. Or do we set up? No. I think what we have to do is we have to dismantle all of this so that we can then have this be... Right, you're going to be a T-junction. So you are. Let's get you merged into a T-junction. And, right, transport... Nope. We're going over to here, not a straightaway. You're a T-junction, like that. You are going to be a straightaway. And you are going to be a full junction. Right, did that build two? I think it, yeah, it did. So this area here, we now have to build this out to be straight away, going down this way. Oop, crap, hang on. Are you not connecting these? Oh, god damn it. I just realized I screwed up the whole thing. These only have one railway track on them. That is infuriating. Right, well, at the very least, let's go into here. We're going to add some power lines. So let's add a power tower here. You are going to connect to stuff over here. So that surface is too uneven. Now, over here, let's hook you in like this. And then you will go in to down there. So, that's it connected into that. Power is charging. Consumption is 400. Or no, max consumption is 155. But we have the benefit right now of that entire sulfur area really doesn't draw much. So this here area, what we need from it is you connect into there. You're doing that. You connect then into this. And you're connecting into this. This is going to pressurize this area to make nitrogen gas. And it's going to make a total of 780 per minute. 780 times 2.5. Right, if we divide 780 by 2.5, that's going to be 600-ish. There's no point trying to calculate it by that, because actually, as I think of it, that's not... I'm not good with numbers. So, this here, production. Let's get the extractors ready. Now, you're one into there. You are one going like this. You go like this. You go like this, I presume. Yep, you're like this. Yep, that's fine. This is fine. And then this is fine. So, you here. Pipeline Mark 1. You are going to be straight. And you'll connect into that. Let's have this here be... Whoop. Pipeline junction. Okay. You go in like that. Let's noodle that into there. And let's see. Pipeline junction. Place you in here. So that connects in like this. And we want you going straight. Whoop. Okay, you go in like that. So this will produce 780 per minute. You are filling up okay. Let's get you over here connected in to this one. What does that mean? Okay, it does that. Oop, you will then connect in. If we put you as a straightaway, you would be going into here. That doesn't work very well. So this is all going to be very obscenely unpleasant to look at. You're like this, and then you go across into here. You would then go into here, I guess. And then I suppose we upgrade this to Pipeline Mark II. Well, Clean Pipeline Mark II. So your max flow rate is 600 per minute. Yours is 300 per minute. So we need to upgrade this. Clean Pipeline Mark II. Max is 600. Really? What is this producing? How much are you? 120 per minute. And then you over here are 120 per minute. That should be 240. Feeding across into here, where it gets an additional 100 and something. That'd be 360. So, Now, let's see. If I go for... Oop. Nope, not geyser. Nitrogen gas. Yeah, we're using all wells from that. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them. So one is pure. One is an impure node. Which is very interesting. Right, this here, you're going to fill up like that. Let's also set up... Whoop. No, hang on. Disconnect that. What we want is... Whoop. A pipeline junction. So that could go into there. Let's have this go around into here. And we'll just have that do its thing. So, you then connect into here. And you connect into here. So these pipes are just going to allow it to equalize the shares between them. Now, we have nitrogen gas. And I'm okay with that. Let's go into here. Bye. And bye. Let's go back and fix our delivery stuff. We could also get rid of that coal production that's going that way, and we could have this become a coal train network, which might just be a thing for us. We also probably are completely full up on the things. So let's see. Has this created all of the ones it possibly could? It might have done. Let's upload these. Copper sheets. Iron. Are you really still going? Okay, so it's 1 minute left until that's complete. That gives us time to add in our, what do you call it? Railway network. So, you here, take this, and we'll go like this. So, center, 1, 2. And center, 1, 2. Lovely. Now we see if this here, rail straight away. Yep, confirm that. Now, for the T-junction, I think what we're going to need for it is to heavily shorten the thing. So, let's load transport T-junction. And what we want for this here is for you to get deleted. Because what we need is this here coming out like that. No, actually, let's test it. Let's do this here. And now, transport railway. Oop. Sorry, getting a phone call here. 1 second, folks. Apologies. Just taking a phone call there. So, I think maybe the T-junction should actually be... Yeah, maybe that's what we do for the T-junction. We delete this little segment along here. Because why not? That will allow us then to go across and make some of the things. So, you here, let's go and do logistics, transport. So, from here, 1, 2, is it possible? 1, 2. Okay. So that allows us just under 2 on each thing there. So let's save this as the T-junction. And then we can be like, what all do we need? So the other thing is I'm thinking about, let's load the rail highway junction, and we're going to call this an X junction. Now, this here area here, we need this to be transport railway. And so, right, at each edge, 1, 2, and over to here, 1, 2. We'll do the same thing over here. So, into the center, 1, 2, right, and 1, 2. Now we do the same. 1, 2. Oh. This here. Oh, hang on. That's why. Right, so there's 1. That's our center point. 1, 2. 1, 2. Over to here. God damn. I was a fool. 1, 2. Over to this way. And we want straight. Go like that. So, you, we put over to here. No, 1, 2, and over this way. Let's go in for the 1, 2, and final one. We will then merge these. So, 1, 2. Okay, good. Right, this is... Oh, seriously? Right. Here we are. 1, 2, up. And then we go down. 1, 2. Right. So that turns too sharply there. Ah, god damn it. That's going to be too sharp. So, this here way, let's go in like this. 1, 2. You are then going to go around to here. 1, 2. And you go like that. You then. This can be our corner junction. No, it can't. Fuck it. We'll load the railway junction. And we're just going to have to manually do that area. So let's load the railway junction. It's just flat point. Which is fine. We take all of this. And it'll be alright. So, over here we've got 64 of those. Are we fully loaded on explosive rebar? It appears that we are. So let's take that. Now, this over here, you're going to have finished with those. So, time to go for bolted frames. Yep, bolted frames. You're going to use 350 screws. And we need reinforced iron plates. So, reinforced iron plates. Damn it, we need more of those. let's go for bolted iron plates. So 18 to 50. So if we had 500, we'd need 180. So for 1800 iron plates, how many is that going to be? Oh boy. We're screwed on that part of our inventory. Let's offload those. Crap, I don't know what to do really. We upload this. We've got aluminum ingots. Yep, we've got max inventory of those. You're going to use 150 per minute. So we can clear this out, at least. Casings and those we upload. Modular frames, definitely upload. And let's see, what else? Oh yeah, that. We'll upload more of those. So, you on the other hand, more of this. Upload that, because we've got more. There is a big problem with our inventory right now, which is that we have too much crap. So, into here, let's get rid of those. And then we get rid of this. And that. And now we go over this way. Because we're nearly maxed out on. Take this and this. I suppose at least here, may as well take that 100. This is doing its thing. Dokos, fine. Okay, so this takes all like a few seconds. Let's look at how many steel ingots we've got. We could do with 4 into our inventory. So that is this going up, and this, and this. Upload those, and perfect. Right, you now take this, and we'll put this into something else. There is one of those. Right, upload more of those. Get that into the inventory. Get that, and then this. And now we've got this. So we can switch back now over to steel beam. And how much inventory space have we got now? Still not quite enough. But better than nothing. So we'll go for that. That is, we need 18. Well, what we can do is we can do the 10 batches of screws. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we can go over here and we can start with 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we got 3. So let's set that up and make as many iron plates as we can. Over to here. That is, we have 11 batches there. So that's that. And let's go for 1, 2, 3. No. That's 3. We're going to need 18 in total. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Let's see. That's 1, that's 10, 11, 12, 13. So now we're just going to need 2 more batches after this. So let's upload that and this. Apparently not that. But this should be 15. Yep, there we go. 15 of those. And now we go over to here and load it all up. So into here. That's another 16 batches there. So hopefully this will be plenty. This is then going to make a whole pile of those. And I guess we leave it to do its thing while we reconstruct our railroad. So let's do that. Grab this. We can't do any more packaged fuel into the inventory, which sucks. But let's head down this way and try out our railroad. So, keep on feathering the trigger and bounce and slide down. Nice. So, now we dismantle these. And you're done. Now, get this, and what we want is railway straightaway. Do this. Do this. Do this. And then, no. We're going to set this area as our junction. So, you over here. T-junction goes like this. Straight away. I guess we gotta do a T-junction here. And then you'll be the straightaway. Next one goes here. God damn it. This goes through that. So, you are going to have to be a nope, and you're going to have to be a nope. This is where we're going to have to build our station, I guess. So, into here. Let's dismantle some of these. Actually, hang on. Dismantle that. And set this up with a T-junction. Then we just do railway, connect you to here. Do the same thing down here. You over to here. And now you will curve around into here. Oop. I guess not. Right, so that works like that. Right, railway T junction. So T goes in like that. Or, you're just going to have to be a junction. So this here is T-junction, like this. And then we do a railway straightaway here, like this. Dismantle mode blueprint, switch to the railway here. So, dismantle that. You connect around to here. And you will just be the railway junction. Like that. And now that leads down to here. So let's build our railway station, starting out from here. Let's get those online. Pillars, start setting them up. So, build one there, and then one beneath. Okay, I guess not. Dismantle that, and try it again. Actually, it's probably easier to just go into foundations, concrete pillars, nope. Concrete pier, and go down this way. So you into there, you into here, and you, and oop. You, oh, fuck you. You, and then into here. So this area, the trains could load into here, and then maybe go down to here and turn. I think let's try that. So this here, and we'll place our turning way here. So now we go into transport, and we want train station. So, in like this. This goes like this. So, you will have to come around here. Let's do the freight platform. And we want these two freight platforms loading in from this side. Now, we'll take this railway. So, you are going to feed around to here. You, on the other hand, just dismantle this and set up not a straightaway, but a T-junction to coincide. So, how are you going to... Okay. You, we need in line with some of this, so bring you over to here, and then we'll set you down. You should allow for a pretty smooth little turning circle. So, you're like that. Then we go with this. Then we go with this. So, now we do... Whoop. Hang on. You connect around to here. You'll come in to here, maybe. And then feed around. Maybe you come out to here. And then go around. That turns too sharply. So, we gotta find a way to dismantle this and get this to work nicely. So you are gonna feed into... Oh, you aren't actually gonna feed in nicely to that. You connect over to here, I guess. Then you into here. Whoop. You go into here. You over here. Whoop. Nope. What we want is you coming around and out to here. So you're like that. And then can you feed around like that? No, apparently not. So let's try you coming around to here. So you go out to here. And then you go around to there. And you get out of my way. So we'll add another pier in there. And that allows us out from there. So now we just go with this. You have the option of whichever way you would like to go. So as this comes out of the station, it can go to either direction. And now let's build out the rest of the stuff going along. Whoop, accidentally hit the microphone holder there. Not very professional. So let's have this be a T-junction, shall we? You go like this. You can't go like that. So you need to go like this. Not a straightaway. T-junction. Oh, that's why you were connected like that. So, connect this T-junction like that. Whoop. Yep, I did build two by accident. You connect here, going into that. Nope, you can't. So, dismantle that and have you go whoop from here around. Oh, hang on. I wonder, can that work then? If we set that up. So, T-junction in like this and see if it can do it. So, transport, railway. You connect into that. Nope, you can't. So, we'll just dismantle that. You go around into here. And then you would go into there. You then would be... I don't fucking know anymore. So, blueprint. Let's at least do the straightaways. And we'll have this go all out this way. Whoop. So, I need to hit it twice for these. Just to successfully make it work. Right, let's get rid of the rest of these sorts of things. Don't like them. So, you out like this. Out like this. Out like this. And then we'll circle you out one more. You are now going to be a highway junction. You would be a T-junction. Nope, you gotta be a junction. Highway straightaway. So, I think these here, to get a good junction, I have to do a three-way cross. So you connect around to that. You go to here. You will also come in too. And now you should be able to. Yep, there we go. So that works. Let's do another junction there on the corner, just because we can. And now along here we can do another one. So straight away, just keep on building them. Over there we can have concrete station potentially. Might work. But I think probably we're a little bit screwed for some of this stuff. We definitely have a lot more work to do for some of it. Let's bounce along and see what we can get at least. All of this stuff has been done, so we need to set up. Let's go into our to-do list, and we're shrinking that down. So, to-do list. Recipes, parts, and we want supercomputers. So let's add this to our list, and we want 25 of these to start. So we've got AI limiters, we've got high-speed connectors, and we've got computers. So plastic is going to be our remaining thing to collect. We've got tons of plastic, so we're sorted there. Alright, grab this and this. All of these pipes and rebar and all of that kind of stuff. So, grab all that. And all of these. Now, we're swapping you to supercomputers. So, 50 of those. And we're going to need another 50. So, into here, 50. Then we go AI, because we need 50 AI limiters. We need con for 50 high-speed connectors. No, 75, sorry. We actually need to split this. We don't have the inventory space to split it, do we? No, we don't. So, let's separate this and go whoop over to here. 75. Load those in. And upload all of this. More of those to upload. Oh no. Right. Let's get rid of that little bit. You know what? Fine. We'll just put all of that in. And then plastic. Let's go for 400 of that. So this here should be starting now. Yep, there we go. Let's head on back and grab our other stuff. So, this here, what? Ooh. That's something I forgot to check. Reinforced iron plate production. How are we looking? Is that all? Well, alright. Okay, I see what it was. Yeah. I biffed it a little bit. I think I only had like 300 screws. I probably needed more. So over this here way, let's bounce and jump up. And we got to load more screws in. So there's another 3,000. Over here we have, so that, let's say you here is going to be 900, so that requires another 2,500. So yeah, hopefully we've got enough. What I'm going to do is let this sort of run while I quickly go and grab a beverage. So I will be back in uno momentito. Let me just set that and then make a bit more space for that. So over to here, we'll upload that and see. Reinforced iron plates. Looks like we should have enough there. So I will be back in just a moment, folks. Righto. Beverage secured. We got a whole pile of these here. Plates going. So what we could do, I'd say, is let's actually switch this to bolted frames. Let's do exactly that. So take all of these here. We're going to grab all these iron plates. There we go. Right. Now, we need 3 of those. Well, that's fine then. 1, 2, 3. Oh boy. Might as well do that. So, 1, 2, 3. So, 395 total. Well, let's load that in. 3 becomes 4. So that's not actually our best return on investment. We're going to have to change that, so we are. We're going to need a lot of steel pipes for this as well. Right. Steel pipe time. Well, inventory clearance. Let's get rid of that. Then we go over to here. Oop. Let's say this. Grab this. And steel frame. So, we've got more to load in here. And then we need these pipes for a start. Let's load 200 first. That's going to be 2 to 10. So, for 400, we're going to need like 2,000 steel pipes. Alright, that's a lot. But let's do it. Load this all in. Perfect. And over here, you are still going... Nope, you're not. We need plastic then. I think plastic is going to be very important, I suppose. So, head on over, grab some plastic, and keep on trucking. Doesn't count as getting hit by our vehicle, sadly. So I guess we're going to have to program a vehicle to drive and hurt us. So up here, let's just plonk that. Keep on blowing all this up, because it's incredibly fun. Whoop. There we go. Hey, something down there. Now, let's grab this. What's that? Another one? Bye-bye. And you, on the other hand, bye-bye. So, that is all that collected. Let's get ourselves some of this. Now, down we'll go. What the actual hell? Seems we're getting a lot of frame dropping. Gonna have to actually review my settings, because it's a problematic amount of drop. Like, not good level. And there's the cat fed nicely. And the other cat's eating its food downstairs. So, let's drop down here. We can also load more compacted coal in. So, do that. And let's go for compact coal. Nope, not computer. Into here. Load more of that. Concrete. Take that. Upload this. So, quick wire is probably going to be our next big one to go for. You're making all of this here. I think... Let's use the hard drive, shall we? Now, hard drive library. Let's see. Silicon high-speed connectors. That's 1 to 2. Silicon circuit board. That's pretty good, actually. Silicon and copper sheets. It means we can actually eliminate from... eliminate quick wire from our production. So here, if we look at solid steel ingot, that's tempting. Electrode aluminum scrap, nope. Alclad casing in the assemblers. Quick wire stators. It's not bad, actually. Fused inventory, or like fused crystal or pure caterium ingot is maybe a thing. Aluminum beam. Nope. Could actually. Quick wire cable or plastic smart plating. That's not bad. Compacted steel, radio connection unit. Oh, here we go. Okay, that's terrible. don't like either of these that much. That's 3. Actually, that's not bad. I think we're going for this. Right, you are looking. So, up here, and we'll see turbo blend fuel. We don't want rubber concrete or copper alloy ingots. Don't like either of those. This, damn it. Automated speed wiring or heat exchanger. Please be... Nope. Not what we wanted. Copper router's not bad, though. Bleached Caterium ingot. That's... I mean, it would require us to make sulfuric acid, which we're not really doing. But, okay. I could work with that. Let's take this and sort our inventory. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we offload all this into our inventory. Now, rub for rubber. We actually only need 100 of that to upload. So let's take this here and replace it with this, which is going to help us out. So, maybe for our railway network, we should add vehicles. Or possibly, ooh, there's an idea. What if our train network used the center 2 platforms and not the extremes? So what if it was like this here sort of thing, but instead the railway was more in the center? That might make it a lot easier to work with for corners and everything. So yeah, let's give it a try and see. We'll play about with the design and hope that it works out nicely. So down this way, go like this. Because if this was going for that, what we could do is have even better things in the center. So over to here, right, we want to load the plastic in. So yeah, that there, fine, that was weird. But this, we've got 11 more to construct. And we'll see. So, grab that rubber. Another bunch. Now, this here, we should have 9 times 28 is going to be 252. So, fingers crossed, that's enough. Dropping so many frames. And I don't get why. What is our network speed? Let me just run a speed test. Over to here. Speed test. Good evening, room. How are you this evening? Are you well? 'Cause you're looking well. How is the weekend treating you? We are just getting our last little supercomputery things into here. Let's take this and these, and then we can upload all of this. So, should be us shortly. Sorted. 112. We'll have 13 left, I believe. Over here, we've got all of these, making a whole pile of modular frames. I think that could end up being very nice for us. So that, we've got computers to upload. And what do we do with... Well, I think I know what we do with this and these. And maybe that. So let's do that. Restful weekend so far. Mine is 50, so that's 20. We need 200 beams. There's our 200 beams. And this should be 1 and 200 into that. Now, concrete. 20 times 22 is just going to be 440, I think. And then steel pipes, 20 times 36 is going to be 720. So let's do that. Let's go for that amount. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is a nice healthy batch for us. And it's going to give us what we need. Now, you, 1, 2, 3. I guess into here. Below, I guess into here. Below the first 200. So it's going to use those, get rid of them. We may as well go to supercomputer. Supercomputer. We have 51 of those apparently, not just 50. My upload speed is 8, but I don't know. My upload speed is 8, but I don't know if that there is because we're streaming at the minute and that is taking precedence. I can't quite tell, so let's get more of these in. And then, right, sort this. And then, right, sort this. We have used 66. So 120 minus 66 is going to be 54. So, 55, damn it. Got the thing. Yes, I am dropping frames. I am dropping quite a decent amount of frames, and I don't quite know why. It's not letting me find out why it's dropping so many, but there's a lot of frames being dropped.